Hello, namaste, welcome. Thank you for being here today. I do want to jot that down in the chat. Namaste is an expression that means the divine in me honors the divine in you. And I also like to say welcome to you all. And thank you. Thank you for being here today. So whether or not you are catching this live or on the replay, I invite you to share, if you're comfortable, to where you're joining from. I am Jess or Jessica here in Appleton, Wisconsin. And if you, let's see. Yeah, if you are new to, I'm new to this, obviously. Welcome to Meditation for Misfits. So the impetus for starting these daily guided meditations is just this feeling of overwhelm at all of the noise around us, all of the if you're on social media, you are seeing everything under the sun. There seems to be well, I won't get deep in the weeds because this is a space, regardless of whatever your political, spiritual, socioeconomic persuasion, status, all of that. This is a space that I wanted to create for all of us who don't fit neatly into any particular category or any particular group. This is a space welcoming you all to pause, to find a moment to reconnect with your deeper self that I believe that we all have, to reconnect to that place of peace within, that place of love within, and that place of joy within. Things can feel very heavy at times. There's a lot of rage bait, a lot of clickbait, a lot of just heightened sense of emotions. And yes, you will see my cats pop in here and there, Smokey and Bean. And so this is just a way for me, one, to do something productive with my voice. There are plenty of people out there, plenty of amazing, smart, wise voices out there that are, I think, doing really good for the world in terms of their takes on politics and the way that they're addressing some of the things going on, particularly in the US and around the world. However, my expertise does not lie in politics. It doesn't lie in world relations. It lies in guiding meditation and yoga practices. And so to that effect, I decided, okay, I may not be best positioned to try to sway people one way or another. I am not well practiced in the beautiful art of debate as others are. However, I am strong in my ability to guide people to a place of peace, health, and wellness within. So that is my goal. My goal here also is to simply invite you to that place of pause, that place of peace, where we can gain greater clarity as to who we are and what we are to be and do in this time. So I think I have found my space of what I'm to do, what I'm to be, and I am inviting anyone who is feeling the heaviness and looking for a pause and looking for clarity to seek that clarity within because it is there. My Let me see. What else do I want to share quickly as an introduction? So, I have been guiding yoga practices since 2016, both in person and in online spaces. You can find me on the Insight Timer app if you are interested in physical practices of yoga. I do guide on that app. And you can find videos. Of course, if you are here, you see that I do have many other yoga videos that are available to view, to watch, um, whether yoga practices, meditation practices, and so on. So do feel free to check those out at your convenience as well. With that, I think that's everything. Feel free to ask questions. I'll be happy to answer what I can. And once we close today's practice, feel free to share. Again, whether you're catching this live or on the replay, feel free to share your experience of the practice, how you're feeling, um, taking note of how you're feeling in this moment prior to practicing, and then inviting you to share your experience of the practice once we close that practice. Mindfulness is a style of meditation that arrives or comes to us from Buddha Vipassana, a practice of engaging or observing the world around us, ourselves, of observation without attaching any value judgment. It comes from Buddhist Vipassana and was popularized here in the West by John Kabat-Zinn, who created or explored research around or did research around mindfulness based stress reduction, so MBSR. So he has a book out there called from way back in the 90s called Full Catastrophe Living. There are over 1,200 papers that have been done on the study of mindfulness and its effects on our pain perception, on stress, and mental health. So I encourage you, if you are struggling with deeper or elevated levels of stress, if you're um, experiencing deeper mental health issues, I do encourage you to call or text 988 or to connect with someone in your community or connect with some mental health professional in your area where you can get greater support. Again, my expertise lies purely in guiding meditation, guiding yoga practices, and I am not a behavioral health or mental health specialist. So I just want to put that out there for you all so that you can make sure that you are fully taking care of your mental emotional space. And meditation is not a substitute for behavioral mental health service. And with that, let's get into our practice today. First of all, thank you all for being here. We'll start today in a comfortable seated or supine or side lying position, whatever position you want to find your body in, whatever support you want to bring into best support your practice. However, you need to position your body for relaxation, feel free to find that space. Here, as you settle in, just taking notice of the space around you. You can open your eyes if they're closed and gazing around, looking at the objects, colors, noticing shapes and textures. And as you gaze around the space you're in, again, attaching no value judgment to whatever you observe, simply noticing, okay, this is there, that's there, that exists. And then gently, as you're comfortable to, close your eyes. Tune into your sense of hearing, noticing sound. What do you hear distant from the space you're in? Noticing high or low pitch of sound, rhythm, loudness or quietness. Bringing attention to the sounds in the space you're in. Again, here noticing high or low pitch of sound, rhythm. Observing what you hear, again, attaching no value judgment, simply noticing what is. Bringing your attention to your sense of smell as you breathe in, aware of the aromas coming in through your nostrils. Observing heaviness or lightness of scent. Floral, earth, sweet. And then here connecting smell to taste and observing any tastes on your tongue. Noticing the flavors that arrive. Observing bitter, sour, salty, sweet. Attaching no value judgment, no good or bad to what you smell and taste. Just noticing what is. And then here, bringing attention to your sense of touch, feeling the firmness or softness of the support beneath your body. Noticing any tension in your muscles, joints, any ease in the body. And again, no value judgment. Noticing the air on your skin, the warmth or coolness. You may observe preference, perhaps preferring the warmth or preferring coolness, perhaps preferring that it be warmer or cooler. but again, attaching no good or bad. Noticing the texture of your clothing. And noting here that even as you tune into your senses, your sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, you can shift, you can adjust, you can move, you can reposition. Again, coming back to preference over judging good or bad. Simply noting, perhaps I want to shift position because of tension somewhere in the body. So that tension is not good or bad. It exists, and we can attempt to shift that tension. Giving yourself permission to be flexible with your physical space, mental space, emotional space, spiritual space. Permission to tune into what you need here in this moment. To whatever is good, kind, helpful. Gentle awareness of your mental space. Observing the thoughts that arrive. Observing thoughts you arrived here with. Perhaps a curiosity. Perhaps a frustration. Perhaps you arrive here with thoughts that distract you from peace, love, joy. Noticing thoughts as they arrive. Again, attaching no value judgment. Gently saying to those words, I see you, words. I see you, thoughts. Here, we're simply observing, not seeking the why or the how. Just noticing the what and letting it be. Gentle awareness of your emotional space. Any emotions connected to those thoughts. Noting happiness, anger, sadness. Noting confusion. noting a feeling of excitement, feelings of despair, whatever feelings, whatever emotions arrive for you in this moment. Again, simply breathing through each one as it comes. Nothing to change, nothing to shift. Nothing to hold tightly to. Nothing to force away. Notice any discomfort. Notice comfort. And here, breathe, bringing attention to your breath. How are you breathing? Is your breath moving quickly or slowly, deep or shallow? And here I invite you to a few deep breaths in and out through your nose, bringing in as much air as you can, filling up your belly as you breathe in, feeling that gentle lift through your chest, and feeling the belly draw gently in as you fully breathe out. Notice your heartbeat. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Couple more deep breaths here. Noticing any tension in body and mind as you fully breathe in. Soften, relax, let go whatever you can as you fully breathe out. Gentle awareness of your spiritual space, whatever that looks like here for you. Observing here, observing what spiritual space is in your world, in your view, in your perspective, in your feeling, your sense. Perhaps for you, that spiritual space is in nature, maybe watching a river flow, waterfall, maybe feeling your bare feet on the ground, on the earth. Maybe spiritual space here for you is tied to a religious belief, to an entity. Perhaps spiritual space here for you is whatever in your world provides you a sense of meaning beyond material, love for fellow man, humanity, volunteering, sharing a kind word, a smile. Maybe spiritual space here for you is simply your existence, your being, and pausing to reflect, to contemplate, finding time to be in silence. Perhaps you are not fully aware or in acknowledgement of what your spiritual space is. Or perhaps that's not language you use for what creates meaning for you. So, whatever is meaningful to you, meaning beyond, again, material, beyond power or possession, just holding space to reflect on what it means for you to be in a space of meaningfulness, in a space of wholeness or connectedness, in a space of growth. And again, whatever your spiritual space, meaningful space, still attaching no value judgment, just observing where you're at in this moment. Nothing you have to do, no one you have to be. You are. I am. We are. We exist to live, to simply be. Bringing attention again to whatever thoughts are arriving for you in this moment. Whatever bit of clarity might arrive for you in this moment. Observing your emotional space here. Noticing what is arriving for you emotionally. Breathing through any discomfort. Again, feeling free to shift, to adjust, to pause. observing your physical space, your physical body, noting any sense of heaviness or lightness, tension or ease. Where do you feel strong? Where do you feel weak? And as always, mindfully observing your physical space, attaching no value judgment. Perhaps you notice an area of pain. Breathe, observe. You might gently say to that space, I see you. I observe the pain in my body. I observe the discomfort of that pain. I observe any emotions surrounding that pain, any thoughts. Aware of areas of pleasure in the body, of ease, of softness. Noticing that connection of emotion to joy or pleasure or softness in the body. Observing thought, emotion, saying to that place of pleasure in the body, I see you. Here, accepting your whole body experience, not with rigidity of I must feel this way or I must be this way, but with a flexibility of I observe this and perhaps shifting, adjusting, breathing to release, to let go attachment to those areas you maybe cannot help but bring judgment to. Mindfully observing your judgment. Just like we observe our thoughts, though our practice of mindfulness is a practice of letting go of making value judgments about what we observe, those value judgments may still exist. So mindfully observe those judgments. And then finally here, Bringing your attention again to the support beneath your body, the air on your skin, to the taste on your tongue, the aromas you're breathing in. Noticing the sounds around you, sounds or silence, and softly blinking open your eyes to notice the sights around you. Gazing up, gazing down, gazing to your right, gazing to your left, and looking forward to the rest of your day. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Once again here, do feel free to share your experience of today's guided meditation, either in the chat if you're comfortable to do so, or in a journal, whether written word or picture, or feel free to move your body, expressing your experience of this practice, of this moment of pause and stillness through physical practice, through movement, expression. With that, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for being you. Take care of yourselves out there. Peace.